Every year we see players slide up the big boards late when covering the NFL draft. Typically, late moves happen because of injury news or due to the results of performances at the various pro days that usually wrap up a few weeks ahead of the draft itself. One of this year's late movers is Arkansas State defensive end Ronheen Bingham, and his late push has him sitting right around pick 62 on at least one big board. The big board Ronheen Bingham is showing up on is from Pro Football Focus, so there's some weight behind the name. But there are a lot of things which aren't covered by PFF metrics, and one of the most important is level of competition. Bingham does not have ideal size for an NFL defensive end. He's only 6'2" though, with good weight at 242 pounds. But playing collegiately at Arkansas State is a lot different from playing in the SEC or any Power 5 school. We've recently discussed the story of another Arkansas State player when covering Louisiana Tech's Jalen Ferguson. A name that kept popping up was Javon Rollin Jones. Watching Rollin Jones and Bingham on film, side by side, is serious deja vu. Rollin Jones was a pass-rushing defensive end who was 6'2" and 244 pounds. One big difference between these two players is that amount of collegiate production. Rollin Jones is one of the NCAA's all-time leaders in sacks. He finished his career at Arkansas State with 42. But Rollin Jones wasn't high up on the draft boards like Bingham despite the size and the sack totals. In 2017, he went undrafted, signed with the Bengals, got cut, signed with the Colts, and is currently out of football. There wasn't good film out there on Rollin Jones. At Arkansas State apparently, the level of competition is such that a 42-sack season isn't hard to come by for a decent pass rusher. Not NFL-level decent, but Sun Belt Conference decent. We do have some film to watch of Bingham in action against NFL-caliber talent. In 2018, Arkansas State played Alabama. In that 57-7 loss, Arkansas State tried to move Ronheen Bingham around. The stat sheet shows only one thing for him through that game: one pass defense. He went up against Alabama's first and second string left and right tackles, their tight end, Hale Hedges, and running back Damian Harris. There wasn't a snap where he wasn't handled easily. The number of times he was manhandled by Hedges should be a major cause of concern. Hedges isn't a behemoth tight end. He's a 210-pound, weak-side tight end who would make a receiver at best in the NFL. On top of the history of the school and the film from Alabama, Ronheen Bingham is recovering from a knee injury that caused him to have to undergo surgery back in January. That means there are no numbers on him from the combine or a pro day. With all of that being said, there really isn't any reason for him to be where he is on this PFF big board. He looks like a not quite as polished version of a similar player, Javon Rollin Jones, who went undrafted and wasn't good enough to even be on an NFL practice squad. Next, dog mentality. NC State's Kelvin Harmon. The Saints need depth at defensive end. They won't find it in Ronheen Bingham. The reason for doing this profile at all is because Saints fans might see Bingham's name showing up on the boards around 62, and I just want to save them some time. Paraphrasing, but those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it. Or something like that. Let's take a hard pass on Ronheen Bingham.